Welcome here to the National Basketball Arena in Tallaght for this hula hoops under-20 Women's National Cup final between Brunell and DCU Mercy. Brunell in red, DCU Mercy in light blue. I'm joined here by Conor Meany. Conor, how do you think this game's going to play out?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a tough battle for Brunell to stick with what is a hugely talented DCU team. They're kind of a lot of internationals on both teams, but particularly on the DCU team. And I think one of the big things for people to watch out for is just how well Brunell deal with the size of DCU, because they're absolutely huge compared to them.
Yes, indeed. DCU Mercy reigning under-20 champions. They're also reigning under-18 champions, and they'll be back to defend that crown tomorrow when they take on Glanmire of Cork. In fact, they're in 3 cup finals this weekend. They're also going to be taking on Glanmire again on Sunday in the Women's National Cup final, the Senior Women's National Cup final at 5:30, which will, of course, be broadcast live on TG Cahir on Sunday evening. But we are on the free throw line here now with Brunell, looking to get off the mark for the first score of the game, and Andrea Moynihan hits it. Brona Power Cassidy at the top of the key, looking for movement inside, finds it, pops it outside to Nicole Clancy, and great rebounding from Housdens, gets it again, and a good score there from Rachel Housdens.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to fear for Brunell, is that Katie Walsh is their biggest player at 5'10", and I think DCU have 7 players who are the same size there, so it's going to be a tough job to get rebounds, and it's something they're going to have to do if they're going to have a chance to win this game.
Especially with Housdens inside. We saw her so much during last summer's Europeans, how strong she is under the boards. As DCU battle hard there, doesn't fall for them, and Brunell are back in the hands of Andrea Moynihan. She takes the shot herself, and Clancy for DCU up to Maguire, takes the 3.
Yeah, a lot of early shots here by both teams as they kind of try and settle down. Obviously, it's a big game in the Arena National Cup final, so it can take a couple of minutes for teams to settle down and just play their normal game.
Maguire with the steal there for DCU, gives it up to Clancy, and a great layup from Clancy. We saw her so well in the semi-final against Portlaoise Panthers down at the Mardyke in Cork, and she's a bright spark here already with 8:02 to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, the dangerous thing with DCU is because they're so tall, you have to really sag your defense into the key, and Nicole Clancy's a great shooter, and she's able to punish you if you do give her space.
Moynihan on the break there, but Power Cassidy got the vital interception for DCU Mercy. It's going to be a Brunell ball. Amy Murphy for the long shot. She was super for Brunell in their clash with Calester down in Cork as well, and also for their Super League team in that semi-final against Glanmire. Murphy again, feeds it outside to O'Shea, out to Alex Machetta. Good hands from Nicole Clancy though, and DCU are on the break. Clancy driving all the way. Maeve O'Shea unlucky not to get a hand to that, but Amy Murphy responds in kind the whole way up the court. Bit of a frantic pace here, Conor, isn't it?
It's exhausting to watch already. It's going to need to calm down a little bit for both teams' sake, really. But that's naturally going to happen as this game progresses a little bit.
Indeed. Cup nerves as Rachel Housdens sends DCU into a 9-1 lead with 6:53 to go here in quarter 1.
Yeah, it's an ominous start for Brunell, because DCU, not only have they got the size that's on the court at the moment, but they've got a huge strength and depth in their squad as well, which is going to make it difficult. Yeah, lovely block there.
Yeah, Maeve O'Shea. Clancy, Power Cassidy onto her left hand, back to her right, and what a score. And we're headed for a timeout here with 6:30 to go in the first. 6:30 to go here in a frantic first quarter already, Connor. 11-1 DCU with the lead.
Yeah, DCU have come out to play. Certainly they're an aggressive trapping defense as well. It comes straight out of that timeout, so they're set up very well. Obviously their American Tiffany Corselli is coaching them, and she's doing a great job.
Unlucky there for DCU. Rachel Housen's intercepting that inbound, and they flew it up the court there, but Nicole Clancy just couldn't keep a hand on it. Yeah, it's the battle of the Super League players on the coaching lines. Danielle O'Leary, of course, for Singleton Super Value Brunell, one of their key players, and a fantastic season she's having this year against, as you mentioned, DCU Mercy's American Tiffany Corselli, who will, of course, feature for them on Sunday against a 5 in a row chasing Glanmire. Brona Paracasti, meanwhile, pops it outside to Clancy. Housen's calls first, gets it, and a foul is called.
Yeah, not a huge amount of contact there, but a foul called. One of the things that you'd like to see, it's difficult for Brunel, but they're going to have to try and find a way to get shots around the basket. Let's see if they can get Katie Walsh involved, because she's going to be central to everything if they're able to compete in this game.
Lovely score there from Ali Donoghue. In and around Pat O'Neill's under-17 squad there. As you said, a who's who of internationals around both of these squads. Katie Walsh, so vital for Andy Gill's team back in Macedonia during the summer as well.
It's scary that, like, whatever, 5 minutes into a game you're able to take out an Irish international like Maeve O'Shea and replace her with another Irish international, and it speaks volumes to what DCU Mercy are doing at underage level. That obviously they were able to win 2 national cups underage last year, and they're trying to do it again this year.
Rotations though will be key this weekend for them, Connor, with three teams, and a lot of these young players feature across the 3 panels.
Yeah, it's a really difficult one when you're trying to balance kind of multiple games throughout a weekend, but I'd say what Tiffany Corselli is saying is trying get the work done early here so that girls can sit, and they've certainly come out meaning all business so far in this first quarter, and the ideal for them would be that if they can put this game out of reach as early as possible, the likes of Brona Power Cassidy and Rachel will be able to sit down, because obviously Rachel's playing in the Super League and probably plays the most minutes of the under-20s, but Brona Power Cassidy also does a lot, and she has the 18s final as well to play.
Yeah, indeed. We're just ticked under the midway point of this quarter, 4:56 on the clock. Elizabeth Black checked into the game there just a couple of minutes ago as well for DCU Mercy to give Nicole Clancy a bit of a rest, as Brunel try valiantly to get off that scoring of 1 point, and Elizabeth Black at the other end. Meanwhile, Power Cassidy has Maguire in support. She just can't keep a hold of it, and Murphy spots Moynihan on the run. Can she finish? Unlucky there now.
Yeah, Rachel did just enough getting back on defense. One of the impressive things about DCU as well is just how well they move the ball against the zone. They've got cutters the entire time, and then obviously the girls inside who were able to clean up second chance opportunities like that.
And it is Rachel Housen's heading to the line here, as we have more subs coming in both sides. Eve Hannigan checking in for DCU, or for Brunel rather, and Deborah Seeley and Niamh Kenny, another Ireland under-16 international from last summer, checking in as well. Niamh is an absolute terrier on defence, as we saw so much last year, and even at the under-18 and 20 cup finals last year as well.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches really when your 7th or 8th person in can be an Irish international at underage level. So, and of course, Deborah Seeley is the daughter of one of the most decorated Irish senior international men of all time as well. So,
and Housen's is headed to the line again. Draws the foul from Katie Walsh, I think it was.
Damien's coaching the under-18s tomorrow.
He is indeed, yeah.
And has been a big part of the senior women's team in DCU as well, alongside Mark Ingle. So
Mark Ingle, who is sitting in the stands at the moment beside his friend for today but his foe for Sunday, Mark Scannell. two of them watching the future stars of Irish basketball, and indeed the current stars, as Housdens misses that second one there. 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. And it's starting to settle into a bit of a rhythm here. Amy Murphy with the long shot. Oh, what a score from Amy Murphy.
Yeah, beautiful long-range shot by Amy. She's, of course, going to be required to put up probably big numbers if Brunell are going to stay competitive in this game. And of course, she's obviously well used to playing big games in the arena here, as most of these girls are. She's played in some of the biggest games that's ever happened in this place.
Maeve O'Shea coming back in. Rachel Housden's getting a much-deserved rest.
Yeah, Tiffany's doing a good job so far already, rotating her team. It shows just how comfortable she is going deep into her bench.
Of course, she knows most of them inside out, as we said, from training and playing alongside them. Assistant coach, of course, Alex Masakel, who is a DCU Mercy Super League's second American. She's just come back from an illness, so we wish her well for Sunday's game as well. Good steal there from Brunell. And it is Alex Machetta. She just can't keep her hands on it though. But broke up that dangerous DCU offense. Niamh Kenny to Elizabeth Black, out to Seeley, who had a super semi-final as well. Alex Machetta almost got it off Niamh Kenny there, who somehow is after finding Maeve O'Shea.
A 3-second goal. Interesting. You probably will see single digits of those all weekend. Hopefully there'll be a few tomorrow night on Jason Clean, because he parks himself in there all game.
Ooh, I was just going to say that, but I'm glad you took it off me. Jason, of course, sporting a brand new cup haircut as well, so
it's a risky move getting it this close to the cup, but he's obviously confident in it.
For any of you listening, Connor got his, what was it, late last week?
Yeah, late last week. Give it a few days, girl.
To settle in. The Basketball Ireland offices have been an interesting place this week between the two of them. Elizabeth Black's shot just falling short there, and we are back with Brona Paracasti and Nicole Clancy coming in for Ali Donoghue and Niamh Kenny for DCU, that is. 2:46 to go here in this first quarter. DCU with a 17 to 6 lead. I'm falling over my words there. Oh, great hands from Elizabeth Black. I think she just stepped out. She did. Referee Mark Gillerin calling for possession Brunel.
Mark is one of the top referees in the country already.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see such a young ref, as the travel is called there against Simone O'Shea. Nicole Clancy. Seeley is all on her own. Swings it back cross court. Clancy out to Black. She takes it on. Drives through and gets her own rebound. Oh, super hands there from Eve Hannigan. Out to Machetta, who is so fast, Conor. I've been watching her for years now. And she's just a lightning bolt up and down the court, Alex Machetta.
Yeah, you can see that she's very quick, and Brunel have actually turned over DCU or got long rebounds a couple of times, but they just haven't been able to take advantage of it.
And we're headed for a timeout with 2:02 to go in quarter one. Quarter one of this Hula Hoops Under 20 Women's National Cup final between DCU, Mercy and Brunell. DCU in control here at so far 17 points to 6 with 1:51 to go, but we are a long way from that final buzzer. And Brunell, as we know, are not ones that you can write off early on. Nicole Clancy to Elizabeth Black. Seeley uses the screen off O'Shea, and a lovely move inside. It just doesn't drop for her. Clancy's calling for it and gets it. And yeah, it's gone out for a Brunell ball.
This will be big now. A minute and a half to go in this first quarter. If Brunel just need a basket or two to settle them down, if at all possible.
Katie Walsh with that left hand. Just comes off the front of the rim there. Nicole Clancy at the other end. Finds Black out to Seeley. Oh, Alex Machetta, great hands there. And the foul is called against DCU Mercy. That looks like it might be her second. It is her second, Nicole Clancy's second, that is, as Aoife Maguire comes back into the game.
So DCU are in team fouls. They've just gone into team fouls there. So now it's the time for Brunel to try and be that little bit more aggressive. Try get to the basket, see what foul they can draw, and see if they can get to the free throw line.
Maeve O'Shea collecting that rebound from a good drive from Machetta that just didn't find the target.
Yeah, of course, it's always difficult when they have the big bodies then when you do get to the basket in there.
Yeah. Clancy with the long shot. O'Shea is there for the rebound though.
Yeah, that's frustrating from a Brunel point of view. That's another offensive rebound, easy layup inside.
Finds Katie Walsh inside. She has to battle for it. And a foul is called. 25.1 seconds here in this first quarter. 19-6 DCU Mercy lead. Cracking wheelchair basketball final on just before this game as well, with Ballybrack Bulls winning the cup in style, making up for the disappointment of 2016 when they lost out to Limerick Scorpions. So congratulations to them, first champions of this weekend. As Brunel's 2 free throws are good, and that pass almost goes astray. But Elizabeth Black gets it across. Aoife Maguire is fouled for that shot, and they are both in foul trouble now.
Yeah, not the sort of foul you want to give up, trying to contest, block a taller player shooting from the perimeter. Let her shoot it when she's got into that position, try and get rebounds.
Aoife Maguire misses the first. Second one drops though, and they're at the 20-point mark with 14 seconds to go. Brunel looking to get that score just before the buzzer. O'Shea to Katie Walsh, and it's gone out of bounds for a DCU ball.
That was a nice offense though, and they ran a good side pick and roll. They got Katie a mid-range shot. That's more promising for Brunel.
And Clancy with the attempt before the buzzer. DCU leading at the end of this first quarter, 20 points to 8. And welcome to quarter 2 here. Hula Hoops under 20 Women's National Cup final between Brunell and DCU Mercy. Brunell in red, DCU in sky blue if you've just joined us. And DCU Mercy leading the way 20 points to 8 after that first quarter. Connor, what did you make of that?
Yeah, DCU's defense was very impressive. It was really the story of the game, and that in their offensive rebound, which we said was going to be the case with their size advantage. So Brunell, look, they've settled into the game a little bit better in the last couple of minutes, started creating opportunities, so hopefully they're going to be able to get a couple of scores.
And a 3-second violation there.
Number 2 for the weekend.
I think
maybe it's the call for the weekend.
I think you've just jinxed the weekend.
Yeah, look.
Poor old Jason. Amy Murphy drives baseline. Steps out over it though.
Just while we're on refereeing, it's great to see Paul Dempsey here in the arena tonight, who obviously has been a bit under the weather in the last couple of weeks, but he's here and he's in great spirits.
Yes, indeed. We wish him a speedy recovery. Power Cassidy to Niamh Kenny. Again dispossessed by Macheta, but she in turn loses Stephen Maguire and Power Cassidy finishes.
Yeah, that's a sign of a really good team, isn't it? That like when you make a mistake, they really punish you for it. So whenever DCU have made a couple of mistakes, Brunell haven't been able to punish it. They've been able to cover up the cracks. But anytime that Brunell turn over the ball, it seems like it's an easy layup that it ends up being.
Laura Marcy coming in for Brunell's Simone O'Shea. As the jump ball call goes in favour of DCU Mercy. After good battling there by Niamh Kenny under the boards. Nicole Clancy now with the long shot, and what a shot it was. Yeah. Just inside the 3, I think, Connor, was it?
I think they gave it as a long 2. It was a lovely shot. She's a great shooter, and again, it was nice ball movement by DCU. They're a well-coached team, as well as having a lot of talent. They're obviously very well organised.
And a super stand there from Brona Power Cassidy. They just left no room to go for Katie Walsh.
Brona is such a good player. It's amazing. You watch her and she doesn't have to do too much at times, and then whenever you need a big play, it's always going to be her that she somehow has a nose for the ball, or she makes big plays all the time.
Amy Murphy goes around Niamh Kenny. Still Murphy to Macheta. Katie Walsh on her favoured left hand. And a good layup.
Yeah, lovely move by Katie there. It's something that Ireland are going to need big time this summer if she's involved in that under-18 team who go up to the A division.
Oh, Clancy at the other end though, just opened up the Brunell defence. 7:33 to go.
That's it though. Katie had to work so hard for her basket down one end, and then all of a sudden it's an easy layup down the far end in response, which is so difficult for Brunell.
Amy Murphy. She had the distance for it though, just didn't fall. Housdens at the top of the key. Power Cassidy is in support against Katie Walsh. Oh, finds Housdens. And a great rebound from Maguire. She's Housdens again. She sees her out to Kenny. Kenny who drives. And Katie Walsh gives out on to Macheta. Laura Marcy. Macheta, no fear, going in against Rachel Housdens.
Yeah, lovely move inside. They're starting to come to grips a little bit more with this DCU defense. They're going to have to keep attacking and trying to create those opportunities.
Power Cassidy to Maguire. Power Cassidy with a great offensive rebound though, and brings it out to the 3-point line, and boom, there you go, Connor.
Yeah, it's from a neutral's point of view, that's so tough because DCU get an offensive rebound and Brona dribbles out to the 3-point line and hits a 3 just as Brunell are starting to get slightly easier baskets. So, and you can see Brunell, like Amy Murphy, starting to get a little bit frustrated that DCU are obviously paying her a lot of attention on defense, and she's not getting a lot of open looks.
3 subs coming in here for DCU Mercy: Ali Donoghue, Deborah Seeley and Elizabeth Black. I'm sure Alex Machetta will be glad to see Rachel Housens going for a rest on the bench.
I think one of the things about Rachel that's amazing is that, like, she's 6'1", but at the same time she moves just so well and she's fast. And how many times have we seen Brunell steal the ball, go to run a fast break layup, and all of a sudden there's a 6'1" girl there trying to make it difficult for them.
Lovely, lovely play from DCU. As 5:38 to go in this second quarter, they now lead 31 points to 12. That 3 from Power Cassidy a couple of minutes ago really opening up that gap. As Katie Walsh did well to keep the ball in play. Found Machetta, but Deborah Seeley picks that ball up for DCU. Niamh Kenny looked for the shot, but found Power Cassidy instead. And just looking over at where the 2 marks are having their pre-Sunday game chat, Kieran O'Sullivan of Ballincollig is also joining there, Connor. A who's who of Irish coaching sitting in the stand there. Ballincollig, of course, heading for their first National Cup final this weekend, which is tomorrow. We're headed for a timeout here with 5:05 to go, quarter 2. Midway through this second quarter of the Hula Hoops Under-20 Women's National Cup Final, DCU Mercy lead Brunell at 31 points to 12. Brona Paracasti. Elizabeth Black over to Niamh Kenny. She's Ali Donoghue inside, but finds Deborah Seeley instead. Again, Alex Machetta. Great interception. Don't forget, folks, to join in the conversation on social media. Hashtag Hula Hoops Cup is where you need to be. We'll have all the best videos, all the clips, all the highlights, and indeed what everyone's been talking about. Follow the hashtag Hula Hoops Cup. And indeed, Connor, what everyone's been talking about this week is CJ Fulton from the Subway Schools Cup yesterday.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. The A finals brought out some fantastic basketball, and in that under-16 game, 11 of 12 from the three-point line in the first half, 15 of 18 overall. It's incredible. And in the under-19A girls, like Ciara Bracken also hit 9 threes in that game. Was
9, yeah.
Which is outrageous. So, no, fantastic. It's always one of the great weeks in Irish basketball, and the schools finals always start the week so well. It's actually unusual that you'd have an under-19A final where you don't have more of the girls playing in this under-20 game.
Well, there's an interesting fact for you, because Colossia Kieran, who won the under-19A yesterday with that Ciara Bracken inspired performance, actually beat Holy Faith Clontarf in the semi-final. So there you go, Connor. which would feed, of course, into this DCU team.
Yes.
Little random fact for you there.
And the losing team, Christ King, of course, have a couple of players in the under-18 game tomorrow morning.
Yes, Glanmire against DCU. Cork teams featuring through most of the day tomorrow, indeed. Blue Demons getting us underway at 10 a.m. in the NICC men's, as Amy Murphy fires it up the court to Alex Machetta, who finishes well and closes the gap a little bit.
Nice job there by Brunell to get the long pass, easy layup. A big stop here will be good for Brunell.
Niamh Kenny with the long shot. Comes off the front of the rim though. And she can't keep a hand it as her teammate from Andy Gill's team steals it. Katie Walsh, but she just can't finish it, unfortunately, and it goes out for a DCU Mercy ball.
Yeah, nice pass fake, but she just couldn't finish. That would have been huge. Would have got it back to 15 points. Brunell have to take confidence though that they're playing a little bit better. They're starting to get more opportunities.
She had nowhere to go there. Good defense from Katie Walsh.
Yeah, good job by Katie.
Cleena Hamill, that is, who tried to get past Katie Walsh, as Rachel Housdens comes in for Niamh Kenny.
Rachel Housdens, of course, who's 6'4" according to Sean Ingle, who's corrected us.
Corrected you, Connor, yes.
Well, the team sheet told me 6'1", so I just went with it. So I'll blame Trish on whoever sent in DCU's team sheet to us.
Shocking. Poor old Trish. Of course, keep more of those messages coming to Connor. Give him a bit of a hard time there if you can, folks.
Or else you can tweet Mary and ask for tickets.
Oh, Amy Murphy can find Alex Machetta again. She does, and that's two brilliant moves from the pair of them.
Yeah, great job by Machetta. She is so quick, as you said, and she gets out in the fast break. The Brunell crowd starting to get into it a bit more. They sense more from their team. Shockingly, a Cork crowd don't agree with the referee's decision.
Now, Connor, behave. I have to apologise for him tonight, guys. He's feeling rowdy ahead of his cup final tomorrow evening. Foul call there.
Yeah, another good stop now for Brunell. Game's back to 15 points, just under 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. If they can get another big score here, it'll be big for them. They're starting to grow in confidence a little bit, although you still have a slightly ominous feeling that DCU can go up another gear or two. Nice pass by Amy Murphy there, and the cutback door by Orla Murphy. Great job by Amy. It leads back to 13 here. Big stop here needed by Brunell.
Yes, indeed. 1:20 to go in the second quarter. Popped out to Cleena Hamill. Good score.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker from a Brunell's point of view. They're doing well, and all of a sudden, it's a long range two is hit.
Aoife Maguire and Leah O'Mahony coming in, one on each side. From a coaching point of view, Connor, what could Danielle O'Leary be looking at here now going into half-time?
Yeah, they're doing a much better job of rebounding, which is important. And look, they have to just try and keep forcing as many turnovers as possible, because they're struggling in the half-court offense, so they need to get some early opportunities. And again, that's another tough foul, the same foul that we saw earlier on. You just can't try and block these bigger DCU players when they're shooting from the perimeter. You have to be happy with that, and then try and go after the rebound rather than trying to block it when you've got you're considerably smaller.
I was going to wind you up there about your height against Jason's, but I won't. 45 seconds to go here.
I'm 6'1".
6'1". We'll see. Aoife Maguire for DCU Mercy.
All right, so 17-point game, 40 seconds to go. It's going to be crucial here if Brunell can get a score and a stop going into halftime. That's really what you're hoping for.
Machetta.
Big shot.
Big shot.
Just doesn't go in. And you have the scary feeling that DCU are going to punish you. But no, they turn it over.
Moynihan has 2 with her, but she slows it down. 17 seconds.
Okay, will they be disciplined enough? 14 seconds on the clock. Will they take the last shot? No, they'll take the best available. Amy Murphy misses.
Ali Donoghue to Deborah Seeley, has Housdens ahead of her, and Donoghue, and a great score on the buzzer from Rachel Housdens. As much as Machetta tried to stop her there, it just wasn't happening. DCU Mercy lead at halftime, 37-18. second game of the weekend in the Hula Hoops Cup finals. This time an under-20 women's clash between Brunell in red and DCU in blue.
their zone defense and a little bit easy offensive rebounds. And when you have 2 or 3
second one is good as well for Maeve O'Shea. 8:25, a long way to go. Still in this third quarter and indeed game. As Simone O'Shea has pace to Alex Michelle. Off it is, but a great rebound from Moynihan. Doesn't fall for her. And DCU are back on the attack. And they look dangerous every time they are. Amy Murphy, she has 2 runners ahead of her. Finds Katie Walsh. Out to Machetta. O'Shea to Amy Murphy. Yeah, and the foul called there.
Yeah, nice job by Amy. First with the long pass, could have led to a fast break game, but didn't. But then she did a good job with the ball on the floor, getting the basket, getting the free throw line. That's what we're now going to have to try and do is find ways to get to the line, score with the clock to stop them coming in into this game.
Lads, we just got a tweet there to say that there's background music coming on over the video stream, and they can't hear it. From Maguire to Rachel Housden, Cara Cassidy, Housden, lovely pass across to Clancy. Again, great movement here for DCU. Cara Cassidy shot doesn't go, but Clancy, Maeve O'Shea out to Maguire.
Yeah, they move the ball so well against that zone. You can see they often have good shots, but they can go when they have good
DCU again. And Brona Power Cassidy, super score. .48 to go in this third quarter.
Apologies for any kind of background music that you did hear. It should be resolved now, and
It was actually Connor softly singing to you all.
there wouldn't have been complaints if that was the case.
Oh. Katie Walsh to Alex Machetta. Housden's to Nicole Clancy. Clancy driving all the way to O'Shea. Again, Machetta working so hard. (51-22) is what DCU Mercy, reigning under-20 women's champions, currently lead Brunell by. But Amy Murphy with a super score as I say it.
Nice ball movement again there. Zone press by Brunell, and DCU moved the ball perfectly, get an easy layup. It'll be interesting to see. They fell back. They didn't. DCU didn't go into their press there again, and it'll be interesting to see what Tiffany Corselli thinks of how often they're going to actually press now. Now that they have this big lead, how much she's going to just kind of sit back and protect some of these players who are going to be playing multiple finals this weekend. I'm not sure you can tell someone like Brona Power Cassidy to chill out though. I think she only plays in one way. Yeah,
she's at one level all the time, and that is nice on fire. Oh, what a score.
Yeah, that's nice again by DCU. They just moved the ball so well and they're unselfish, which is great.
That ball just runs out for Brunell. As it is a 5-for-5 substitution by Tiffany Corselli for DCU Mercy. 5 on, 5 off.
What's also great, Mary, is that we got so many messages complaining that they couldn't hear the commentary, so we're obviously doing a fantastic job during this game.
It must be it, Connor. Must be it.
No surprise, though.
Oh. Andy Gill's going to give out to me if I keep saying that, but there's just too much to talk about here, Andy. Niamh Kenny to Deborah Seeley. At least I'm not saying the word indeed. I must have said that about 20 times the last time I commentated with Andy. So Niamh Kenny drives through. It's got out for a DCU ball. Four minutes and 30 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Tiffany Corselli telling her charges what play she wants them to run. And it was a lovely move. It just didn't fall for Ali Donoghue. Alex Machetta at speed, as we've seen so many times this game, and she's going for the long three. Just didn't have enough legs on it though. Laura Morrissey follows up. And it's gone out for a DCU ball. Brunell are fighting hard.
Yeah, but yet again, it's that transition defense from DCU. They managed to get back, make it a tough shot. What could have been an easy layup, all of a sudden it's a contested layup, and they've done a really good job of that.
Alex Machetta. A stand from Niamh Kenny, I think it's called as a foul. And Machetta will be going to the line for two.
Yeah, she just got there a little too late.
Niamh, yeah.
Machetta did a good job. Tried to step through, and she earned herself 2 free throws.
Just a reminder, our 2 Super League games are going to be live on TG Car this weekend. An 8 p.m. tip-off tomorrow night for Connor versus Jason. UCD Marion versus Black Amber Temple Oak in the men's Pat Duffy Cup final. Kieran Donaghy providing analysis for us on the floor for that game. And then on Sunday, Ambassador UCC Glanmire will face top of the table DCU Mercy in the Women's Cup final, and we will be joined for analysis there by Collester's Rebecca Nagel as well. So some interesting games in store. TG Car providing great coverage, and for any of you who are abroad and are wondering how you're going to catch up, there will be no geo-block on that player as well, so you can tune in live to both of those Super League clashes. As Niamh Kenny back to the game today. Niamh Kenny adds 1 from the line, and she'll be looking for a second, and she gets it. 25 plays, 57. Walsh again onto that left hand with a lovely hook. And foul is called against her.
Yeah, it's a frustration foul. It's very common. Miss around the basket and then try your best to get it back, but ends up leading to a foul, which is their 3rd foul as well, which is just another thing that Brunell don't need.
As DCU break the press and come up. Deborah Seeley, oh, drops for her. 59-25 with 3:26 to go in this 3rd quarter. Amy Murphy to Alex Machetta inside. What a score.
Yeah, lovely basket. Nice little turnaround in the key. Not what you expect from a player of her size, but it was really nice.
And here she is again. Oh, great basket from Machetta. Again, her speed, quick hands, sending her up the court for that vital basket.
Yeah, she's been the brightest spark, certainly for Brunell so far. She's so active and she's getting steals, out on fast breaks, a bit of everything, so really impressed so far. I think going into this weekend, there's just so many interesting games coming up. Cubs against Moycullen in the under-20 men's, I think, will be one of the games of the weekend. Last year, Owen McCann was probably the standout individual star of the whole weekend. He had such a big performance against Neptune. And he'll be going up against a really, really talented Moycullen team.
Yeah, 2 powerhouses underage, really. Cubs, of course, as you said, beaten finalists last year. We'll be looking to rectify that. And Paul Kelly, another huge performance from him in the Schools Cup this week.
Yeah, there are some huge individual performances. Who would have thought that Paul Kelly's 27 points in the first half of that under-19B final would be kind of so quickly overshadowed by what CJ ended up doing. And I think one of the big things about the CJ thing that we're not really talking that much about is that he was in the under-19A game, he was also the best player on the court and he wasn't hitting shots, so there's a lot more to him than someone who's just had one day where he's able to hit a lot of shots.
Yeah, definitely. He was the star of the show for them last year in the schools finals as well. So definitely a name you all need to remember. .1:59 to go in this 3rd quarter. DCU Mercy leading the charge, 59-31. And Ali Donoghue out to Hamill with the shot. Good rebounding from Amy Murphy, and again fires it up to Machetta. That is the dynamic duo of the night, really, there, Connor. They've linked up play so many times there.
Yeah, Amy's doing a great job. She really sees the floor well, pushes the ball down the court. She's a very talented passer. She's obviously a very good shooter as well.
And Machetta's speed getting her up ahead of the defense as well. As Sonja Tuddy tries to get through the DCU defense, Elizabeth Black helps her out. And we have a shot clock violation. Yeah, we do. And we're headed for a timeout with 1:06 to play in quarter 3. 1:04 to go here in quarter 3. DCU Mercy leading the way, but a super score from Amy Murphy. For Brunell, that is.
Yeah, Amy's doing a good job. She really can impact the game in lots of different ways. We've seen her passing, and there's another long-range shot for her.
Deborah Seeley, that one doesn't fall for her.
Amy must also have the longest ponytail in basketball.
She definitely does, yeah. You need to know Amy's number before she goes on the court, because the ponytail will cover it.
Although Dan James is cultivating one that's going to challenge it in a while.
Dan James versus Lorcan Murphy tomorrow, because they're both sporting these little
man buns.
Man buns, yeah. You should grow one yourself, Connor. Ellie Lean inbounding the ball here for Brunell. Amy Murphy went baseline, just couldn't keep a hold of it. Deborah Seeley wins it back. Elizabeth Black up the court. Foul called against Alex Machetta. It's her second. .8 seconds to go here in this third quarter. DCU looking for another score, but Amy Murphy has other ideas. Machetta again on the run. Oh, what a block from Elizabeth Black. And that is the end of quarter here, folks. End of quarter 3, that is. DCU Mercy leading 59-36. And we are ticking into the fourth quarter here in this Hula Hoops Under-20 Women's National Cup Final. DCU Mercy leading the way 59-36. Just a reminder for all of you guys out there, Basketball Ireland will be hosting their national camp in Gormanstown Park this summer, and it's for all players aged 12 to 17. Of course, camp is in its 45th year this year. Coaching staff including Ireland's best players and coaches, along with coaches from around Europe and the USA. There'll be full details on the Basketball Ireland website of when the camps are running from. I think the first week is starting on the 8th of July, and registration, I have been told here, is filling up fast. So get onto the Basketball Ireland website and register now for that camp. Always a big hit during the summer, Connor.
Yeah, it's been a huge part of Irish basketball for a long time. I coached in Gormanstown one of the years.
And they wouldn't have you back then, would they?
Yeah, no, it was probably for the best. And then obviously would have played in it in Dungarvan at different stages back when I used to be there. So particularly now the Dungarvan obviously only had one indoor court back in the day. So it was all just outdoors. So Gormanstown's a great place for it. It's probably the best place in the country to have it with so many courts, and yeah, definitely advise anyone to go along to it.
Amy Murphy and Machetta again linking up. They can just seem to know where the other one is all of the time. As DCU. Housdens to O'Shea. Across to Clancy. They're back to their starting 5 here, DCU, if I'm not mistaken. 8:48 to go in quarter 4.
Yeah, it just shows the mentality of Tiffany Corselli as well. They've got a lead. It's a 24-point lead in the 4th quarter, and yes, they want to keep doing things with their starters for another couple of minutes before they rest them up for games to come.
Machetta to Morrissey. Back to Amy Murphy. Everyone looking for that gap. Foul is called.
Yeah, but it's so tough there for Amy that Brona Power Cassidy is doing a great job on ball defense, and even as she goes to attack, then all of a sudden you have Aoife Maguire standing there to contest the shot, and it's very difficult. And DCU's defense has really been the story of this game. They've been absolutely fantastic.
Well, just to note, that is a 4th foul on Nicole Clancy. DCU's Nicole Clancy, that is. As with 8:25 to go, DCU leads 60-38. Power Cassidy calls her teammates into position. Clancy with the long shot. Power Cassidy again, so strong under those boards. Maguire, Power Cassidy again with the offensive rebound.
Yeah, and that's been the offensive story. Defensively they've been great, but offensively they've had multiple opportunities, and they move the ball well, and then when they get offensive rebounds they've been able to finish as well. So
Alex Machetta takes on Housdens yet again.
yeah, she's fearless, isn't she?
Absolutely, yeah. Machetta from the line. Don't forget that games tip off tomorrow from 10 a.m. with the men's NICC Cup final between Blue Demons and BC Leixlip Zalgiris.
That should be an interesting game. Shane Coughlin, or Colin, in his last ever game before he retires, according to the Evening Echo anyway. So it'll be good for Shane to go out on a high, but that Zalgiris team's very big. They beat Marion in the semi-final, so should be a good battle.
7:09 to go. It's a 24-point game. Oh, Machetta nearly had another one. Don't forget, tomorrow morning we will also be having a Facebook Live of an outside broadcast that Sunshine, I nearly want to sing the rest of their name, Connor. Sunshine 106.8 are coming to the National Basketball Arena as part of the 25-year anniversary celebrations of the arena. Connor, you can tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so the sports show that they have every week, Ken Doherty and Reggie Corrigan is the show, and yeah, with the arena having its 25-year anniversary at the start of February, it opened on the 7th of February back in '93. So tomorrow's show is going to be looking ahead to the weekend of Cup finals, but also looking back at some of the stories that have happened in the arena over those 25 years. So it should be an interesting start to the morning, and it will also be kind of around the time when that under-18 game is warming up and ready to kick off. So it should be a great start to what's going to be a bumper day.
Indeed, we're headed for a timeout here with 5:43 to go in quarter 4. DCU leads 64-40.
And we're back here, 5:35 to go in this fourth quarter, 24-point lead for DCU, so they're in full control. Still have the majority of their starting five out in the court. Brunell have done a better job battling away after what was a very difficult start. I think they went down 17-1 to start the game, so it was always going to be difficult to come back from that, but they've grown into the game a little bit as it's gone on.
Katie Walsh with the left-handed shot again. 64-42 it is on the midway mark here of quarter four. Sorry, Connor, go on.
No, it's just Katie was agonizingly close to sending that under-18 semi-final against Glenmire to overtime.
She with that late shot, yeah.
She had a three in Neptune that just rattled out. Lovely that the basketball hit the lovely hula hoop sign there. Hashtag hula hoops cup.
Hashtag just emphasizing the weekend. Connor's giggling away here like a schoolgirl beside me. Hashtag hula hoops cup is exactly where you need to be. Please tweet and annoy Connor. Tag him particularly because his phone will just start hopping here.
Second one good for Nicole there. .23 lead. Although to be fair, it probably seems a little bit more than that. DCU have been in full control. If you have your own MVP considerations, tweet them at us. We're not going to factor them in, not that we decided, but let us know who that you've been watching and who you think has impressed so far.
Maeve O'Shea to Housdens. Clancy with the long three. Alex Machetta gets the rebound under the nose of Rachel Housdens and pops a lovely pass across to Andrea Moynihan.
Yeah, nice basket inside there. Again, nice ball movement, nice pass by Brona, and a lovely mid-range jump shot to finish out the game.
3:50 to go here in quarter four. Housdens. Oh, lovely shot. Lovely score. As Brunell tried to respond to the other end, but Housdens, who's been so influential for them today with her height, gets the ball away, and it comes back to Nicole Clancy, who drives through yet again. Doesn't fall for her though, but she has been carving open the Brunel defense all day today.
Yeah, she's been very good. She's probably gets less attention than some of her other teammates in general, but she's been very strong. Rachel Housen's one of the I just really enjoy watching her play. You never, it's without paying attention to her, all of a sudden you realize that she's just had a huge impact. It's all the simple things she just does. She seems to do the right thing and the simple thing every single time.
That was the way in European, sure. You'd look down at the stats list and all of a sudden you'd be like, oh, geez, she's a double-double already, you know. She was just quietly working away in the background as a 5-for-5 substitution again from Tiffany Corselli.
That's probably the last, well, definitely the last we'll see of any of those starters.
And Hamill almost finds Aisling O'Driscoll, but she just can't keep a hold of it. Alex Machetta, who has been the bright spark of the Brunell team today. Her link-up play with Amy Murphy has just been superb to watch.
Yeah, unfortunately, at crucial times, obviously the start was difficult for Brunel, but then at crucial times they'd have opportunities and they wouldn't be able to finish, or they'd have a turnover and DCU would just punish them every single time.
And there we go, 73-44 as we head for a timeout with 1:43 to go here in quarter 4. .143 to go in this 4th quarter of the Hula Hoops Under-20 Women's National Cup Final. DCU Mercy, reigning champions at this age group, and indeed at under-18, are 73 to 46 points ahead of a very, very spirited Brunel team. Amy Murphy has been super. And those passes to Simone O'Shea, what a lovely finish from O'Shea.
Yeah, great job again there by Amy. She gets rebounds, pushes it down, finds her teammates. She's been, in challenging circumstances, has been very good. But
great steal there.
Yeah, lovely steal.
Andrea Moynihan. And finishes well as well to bring them to the 50-point mark with 1:02 to play.
One of the most impressive things for DCU really is that this is a different 5 than their starting 5, and yes, the organisation is there, the talent is there. As I say, they turn the ball over, of course. But
commentators jinx Connor.
Yeah, they're obviously well coached though, and that's through the likes of Mark, Damien Seeley, Tiffany Corselli. Lots of good work obviously being done in Coola.
Sean and Stephen as well.
Sean's not a great coach, to be honest, but all the rest of them are good.
Sorry, Sean. I don't know what he's on today. 45.6 seconds on the clock here. Amy Murphy. Two from 2 for Amy Murphy. As Moynihan. Oh, Simone O'Shea comes in to help Moynihan with the steal and finish. Great score.
Yeah, great work by Brunel. They're not looking at the scoreboard, they're just playing the game.
Into the last 30 seconds now as Elizabeth Black is put under pressure. And the foul is called, it looks like against it's O'Shea. It is. We're on countdown here to the crowning of the 2018 Hula Hoops Under-20 Women's National Cup champions.
That's been a very assured performance by DCU, and it really bodes well for them for the rest of the weekend. They haven't had to tax their big players too much, and they've been very, very strong. So the first of their 3 challenges is complete, and let's see how they get on with the next one at midday tomorrow, and then of course the main event on Sunday evening.
9 seconds. And we're going to go back possession Brunel for the closing 5.5 seconds. as DCU's bench stand up to celebrate. And what a win that was, 73-54 against a Brunell, Conor, that you could not fault whatsoever. A super performance on both sides.
Yeah, it's when you play in a final, you don't want to lose it. And I don't think Brunell lost that. It was more that DCU won it. They came out and they performed exceptionally well. So look, it's tough on Brunell. It's never easy to be in that situation. But DCU were full value for their win.
And the cup is headed back to DCU Mercy. As Conor said, the first of 3 that they are trying to win this weekend. Neptune did the treble last year. Under 18-20 men and President's Cup glory over EJ Sligo All-Stars in a cracking game of basketball here at the arena last January. And as we keep saying, a huge lineup of games tomorrow. And President of Basketball Ireland, Teresa Walsh, heads to the stage for the presentation alongside Secretary General and CEO Bernard O'Byrne. Good.
Nice little disco strobe on the cup platform there.
Yeah, shout out to Louise. I think it's her favourite part of the cup. Guard of honour here from DCU Mercy. A nice touch by the champions to clap their opponents onto the stage. And here we go, the gold medals for this Hula Hoops Cup. DCU Mercy, led out by Aoife Maguire. The crowd on their feet here for the 2 teams who gave us such a good game there. Hard work going on in the Brunell club as well. They had 3 teams at semi-final level this year. The 20s advancing to the final here, as you can see now. And their 18s and their Super League team also involved in that cup weekend down in Cork. So shout out to all the hard work going on down in Brunell Basketball Club as well. Tiffany Corselli getting her first medal now of the weekend as coach, whatever colour her medal will be on Sunday. And Alex Masakel joining her. A nice way to start your cup weekend. And it is Bernard O'Byrne who is going to make the MVP presentation, I think.
Now for the presentation of the most valuable player, goes to number 6 in DCU, Nicole Clancy.
Nicole Clancy has won the MVP award for this under-20 cup final.
She had a look of genuine shock on her face.
She really did, yeah.
You really could have picked so many of their players, so many outstanding performances.
Congrats to Nicole and indeed to DCU in general. That is the cup being presented there to Aoife Maguire, a delighted Aoife Maguire, And that is over and out here from myself and Conor Meany at the National Basketball Arena. Join us tomorrow from 10 a.m. when we will be streaming the first game of the day, men's NICC Cup Final.